what's up, everyone? This is Mr. Dean, and of course, we are here with episode 9 of this special hour. I am here, as always, with my co-host, Mr. DonovanDud. What's up, Donovan?
Hi there, it's Donovan. Unfortunately, school is in session, and...
have you already started?
Yeah, I already started. Did you?
I have 1 week to go before my classes start.
Earlier today, I had a physics class. This is the first time I'm taking a science class in 4 years.
And your first one is physics, too?
And it's physics. The last time I took physics was freshman year high school. That was during COVID. I did get an A, but I have no idea what I learned.
Well, and I haven't taken physics for college just because my major never required that, but is there kind of like a disparity in like the difficulty from freshman year of high school to college with physics?
Well, it was only the first day, but from what I've heard, freshman regular physics will not help you.
Hopefully that ends up going well. I guess you can, as this podcast goes on throughout the semester, we can use this as a way to document, how we're performing in our own classes, because, I'm sure we'll both have our, difficulties with that.
Well, what's up with you since you haven't been in school yet?
Honestly, this past week, I've been really just like kind of chilling. Like, I'm just waiting for school to start next week. So I've had a little bit less like work on the side up until then. I've been playing on a Minecraft server with some friends. So, doing the whole 2-week Minecraft phase thing. It'll be funny if we've already abandoned that by the time next episode airs. Knowing my history with Minecraft, that's probably what will happen, but we'll see. Other than that, though, hung out with a few friends. I actually did go thrifting for the first time this past week.
For the first time?
I've just never gone thrifting. I don't know why. I think part of it's because for a long time I never was like into fashion at all. So I just never cared for like going out and buying new clothes. I don't know why. It's just I never thought about it, but one of my friends was like, "Do you want to go thrifting?" And I was like, "I mean, shit, yeah, why not?"
Sure, why not?
It was fun. No, it was fun. Like I actually really enjoyed, not spending a bunch of money while buying clothes. It was great. I got 2 pairs of jeans and then 3 shirts, all for $50.
Wow.
So
that's a good thrift
ended up going
there.
really well.
Oh,
it was really good.
This
really
weekend,
good.
I did go Mario Karting in real life. They were electric karts. We went maximum speeds of 45 miles per hour. Did that with friends. Really fun. One point, my cart just stopped moving because of safety precautions, and I didn't know how to get it going again because I was just holding it down the pedal. You have to let go and then hold it down again. So another go-karter went max speed, 45 miles per hour, hit me from behind. That did not feel good, but my cart finally started going. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. My back didn't feel good though.
Sounds a little dangerous there, but that's cool. Were you throwing items at each other or just?
Oh, I
just
wish.
Like no, you were playing no items.
No items. We were a little lame. Should have brought a banana peel.
Well, that's still fun. I haven't gone go-karting actually since I was probably in like 5th grade. I kind of want to do that again. Yeah, but anything else going on over the past week, or just the go-karting thing in the
School.
class?
That's it.
Just school, yeah. That'll be me next week. So I'll give you my updates on how my classes are. At first, I was gonna say, are your professors good? But then I was like, that might be a bad idea to publicly complain about your professors on a podcast. So we'll not do that. Anyway, so are you ready to talk about some gaming stuff?
Oh yeah, I forgot this was a gaming podcast.
It would be really funny if I asked that and you just went, no, I don't want to. And then the podcast just ended right there. That'd be great. All right. So literally just a few days ago, the Kirby Air Riders direct happened. Neither of us watched it live. Well, for us, it was a few hours ago. Yeah, 7 hours ago at the time of recording, the Kirby Air Riders direct aired. I saw it a little bit after, and so did Donovan. But one thing I immediately thought was interesting before even going into it was the length of the direct, because it was a 45-minute direct for one game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that there's ever been a single game direct that was that long.
I think there's been some really long ones. I think maybe was it Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that had a long one? There's a couple that have had long ones, and there's the Sakurai Presents with Smash Ultimate. That's usually pretty meaty.
Well, yeah, I guess that is kind of why it was the length that it was, because it was kind of Sakurai with a much slower pace, kind of going over his experience with the development and all that kind of stuff. And that was actually one of my favorite things about watching it, was you kind of got to see, Sakurai's personality, like, while learning about what to expect with this game. I thought there were some moments that I genuinely kind of chuckled while watching, like whenever Sakurai was talking about how the game's gonna have 2 buttons instead of 1, and he was like, unfortunately we had to add a second button, and I was like, what do you mean unfortunately? But yeah, overall, like, honestly, the game does look really good. I'm not ready yet to say that this is gonna be better than Mario Kart World, but it wouldn't shock me if it was.
At first I was skeptical on Kirby Air Riders, mainly because, well, we didn't really see anything of the game before this, and also I'm like, well, I mean, I have Mario Kart Worlds, like, why do I need another racing game? After seeing this direct, I'm sold. This game looks awesome. It's like if Mario Kart had a really cool battle mode, if Mario Kart had a good battle mode, maybe.
Well,
and
Mario
that's
Kart
not to
8
say
Deluxe had a good battle mode.
yeah, we don't talk about regular 8 or even World, but even without like the quote-unquote battling aspect of Kirby Air Riders, this looks like a really in-depth racer. And, well, even Sakurai said, racing isn't primarily the main focus of Kirby Air Ride, and I just feel like this scratches a different itch for racing fans, and I feel like this game, it has a lot going for it, and I was thoroughly surprised with all the different stuff, that all the different modes, all the different mechanics and characters there are. And I think the most surprising thing to the Kirby fan base out there, I remember yesterday looking on Twitter, and all the Kirby fans are like, Sakurai's gonna pull a Sakurai, and they're referring to how Sakurai doesn't really like any of the newer modern Kirby stuff, supposedly. Anything that wasn't made by him. So they were saying, oh, the Kirby Air Riders roster is going to be Kirby and Kirby and Kirby and Kirby and King DDD, not you, Bandana Waldy, and Meta Knight, and Kirby and Kirby. But luckily, Sakurai beat the allegations and actually put in more characters than just a brown Kirby or yellow Kirby. So that was surprisingly fun to see.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that kind of surprised me, both with the game itself and the release of the game. I'll touch on that in a minute. But the game itself, one of the key talking points is how this time around you actually get to race as other characters. And while I didn't play a ton of Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube, I think you were able to play as other characters.
Yeah, you could play as King DDD, but you're only limited to Wheelie, and Meta Knight only just flew.
Okay, so every character this time around's treated equally in the roster. Okay, I was watching that and I was kind of confused at first, but that definitely makes more sense.
Yeah, and he also included Magalore and Susie from the modern Kirby games, which really surprised me, and Bandana Wallaby too. So I'm like, whoa, he actually cares.
Yeah, well, and it's also really cool how even beyond Kirby, all the characters have copy abilities. That's not something I was expecting at all. But yeah, and that is one of the features of this game that intrigues me the most, because I kind of have that unique angle where I didn't play Kirby Air Ride a ton. I played it a little bit a few years ago, but not enough to where I could really form an opinion on it, like one way or the other. But I always have been kind of intrigued by the concept of like a racing game and a fighting game, sort of being married into one. And this does seem like it's going to kind of scratch that itch a little bit, because where Mario Kart World is fully focused on the racing experience in that game with a little bit of an edge and exploration. This time around, obviously, you're racing. You have a very different control scheme compared to Mario Kart, but looks like you're actually fighting people on the track. Well, not fighting people in the same way that you're fighting in, say, Smash Bros., but it kind of gives you that unique edge compared to, other kart race, or I don't even want to say kart racers. It's like, because they don't even call them, like race cars, or they call them machines in this game, so it feels different. But one thing I was very curious about, though, is what are your thoughts on the release date being November?
Yeah, lots of people, the Metroid fan base, one person in particular was going a little bit rabid, complaining about
let's talk about this.
Kirby Air Riders getting a direct and not Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And hey, I would love to see a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond direct as well. And I was
shout out Joey Ferris if you're watching this. Wait, I need to stop laughing.
Hey Joey, you make good content, but sometimes you can get a little unhinged. But sometimes when I was thinking November, I'm like, when is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond coming out? Is it ever gonna come out? And yeah, we've already seen a Nintendo Treehouse Live segment of that game. We got 2 trailers already, but I mean, we'd like to see more other than Samus can use her mind to open doors. Like, okay, Nintendo. But I'm very excited for Metroid Prime 4, and it should get a direct. But Kirby Air Riders getting a release date in November. When's Prime 4 coming out? I mean, if we look at the release schedule of Nintendo Switch 2 games, I think so. We got Star Crossworld coming out this month. I believe in October is Pokemon Legends ZA. November is this game, Kirby Air Riders, and December, maybe for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, though it does say winter 2025, so that one's a little bit up in the air. So that only kind of leaves September for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but
I just don't.
It doesn't make sense. Where's the direct?
Prime 4's. Yeah, well, it doesn't even make sense that it would be September whenever it's currently mid to late August, and they still wouldn't have revealed the release date for a game that is that hyped up. I'm
a little frustrated. I get it. This game deserves all the attention. This game is shaping up to be another Game of the Year contender, from at least from the little bit we've seen. I'm hoping it's a Game of the Year contender.
Wait, are you talking about Kirby Air Riders or Metroid?
Prime 4. No disrespect to Kirby.
I wasn't even trying to make this question about Metroid Prime 4. I was just asking simply, does this game warrant being a holiday release date? But yeah, I guess we can rant about Metroid Prime 4 not being. I guess
I was thinking of Prime 4 would be November, but I guess it's Kirby's time.
That's what I thought too. I don't know if I'm as passionate about this subject as some like Joey Ferris are. Me personally, obviously, I think Metroid Prime 4 is the game I'm most excited about for this holiday season. However, am I literally stomping the ground and throwing a temper tantrum on social media about it? Not necessarily. And once again, great content, Joey. I'm just making a goof out of this. But I don't know. I wish we would hear about Metroid Prime 4. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Is the game going to get delayed again? I don't know. At least we did see more information. One thing that I think a lot of people aren't taking into account with this whole Kirby Air Riders and Metroid Prime 4 not being shown with more info yet is that these are literally 2 different development teams, 2 different companies behind the games. It's not like it's the same development team working on both games and they're just prioritizing Kirby for some reason. It's, these just happen to be 2 games at 2 different states in their launch windows at the moment. So I'm not necessarily saying I'm glad that Kirby Air Riders is getting more attention than Metroid Prime 4 right now, but I'm also not mad about it either.
I'm in my head. I'm like, guys, we're on the same page here, right? I mean, we're all Kirby fans and Metroid fans. We both of them can eat. We're both eating this year, so nothing to complain about. It's gonna happen, hopefully, maybe. This year, hopefully.
Hopefully as we crawl into the fetal position. Well, and the thing too is, I don't want to say neither, but Metroid Prime 4 obviously, as hyped up as a game as it is, Metroid's never been that commercially big of a franchise as some of Nintendo's other series. If you look at sales data, it's not Mario and it's not Zelda. I'm not.
You're gonna make me cry.
I like Metroid, Donovan. I'm not saying the games are bad. I'm just saying realistically, it's not a launch year holiday season system seller. That's my point. Now, is Kirby Air Riders going to fill that role as good as the game looks? It's hard to say. I don't know. That it seems like they're pretty confident though with a November launch date. So
maybe going back to focusing on Kirby Air Riders, the game looks solid. There's definitely a lot of Smash Ultimate influences. Well, clearly because it's Sakurai and also the same development team. So I just found that really funny. City Trial looks awesome. It's I haven't played a Kirby Air Ride in a very long time. I remember playing it at my cousin's house on his GameCube. I think that was the first GameCube game I've ever played. So I played it in small doses, but I always remember it being really fun. And every time I went over to his house, we'd tell him to boot up Kirby Air Ride. But what I remember City Trial from, I can attribute that more to Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS's Smash Run. That mode is really fun. Same concept. You're going around this stage, collecting power-ups and all that, and then after the time's up, you're all thrown into these little events, and you just got to do the best, and hopefully you picked up enough power-ups to come out on top, or you just raw dog it and do it and win just by pure skill. So I feel like that's super fun, and hopefully the online component is more robust than Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Pretty please, crossing my fingers.
Oh, please. Or remember the other day we were playing Mario Maker 2? That was a fun experience.
Hopefully,
let's just step up our great. our online gameplay.
I have high hopes. It looks awesomely fun. It looks great. It scratches that different itch that I didn't know needed itching.
All right, so Donovan, if you want, go ahead and take it away with our next topic, since I have very little to say about this one.
So Kirby's Star-Crossed World is a DLC to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. By the time this episode is out, it would have already released, but I just want to say Kirby fans are eating. They are eating this month, and they will be eating in November. Star-Crossed World, though, I don't have the hindsight of playing the game. From what I see, it looks like a really cool expansion upon the base game. And just by the way, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is kind of a sleeper for 3D platformers. I think it's one of the greats. It's a really fun game.
Okay, all right. Can I pause you really quick?
The glazing is too much.
I don't know if I would call that game a sleeper. I never hear people shut the fuck up about that game, Donovan.
No. People,
at least
I think people discredit Kirby because it's Kirby. It's an easy baby game.
Maybe, but okay, hold on. Okay, now let's double pause because I have always been a big fan of Kirby's Epic Yarn, and Donovan's like, that game sucks because it's a baby's game.
That game is a little too easy.
Anyway, I feel like from the discourse I've seen around Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I feel like it's very glazed a lot of the time. It's people being like, this is an incredible 3D platformer. It's almost like overstepping Odyssey, like whenever that game came out. I guess maybe I'm just seeing a very niche corner of the discourse, and there's a lot of people.
Maybe in general circles. I mean, if you bring up what's like some of the greatest just maybe 3D platformers or just maybe great game franchises in general. If you bring up Kirby, people are going to be the first thing people are going to say is like Kirby's too easy. But I feel like Forgotten Land, it's a great game, and even more Forgotten Land content. That's great.
Yeah, but like whenever people say Kirby's too easy, that's just such a narrow-minded critique of. I mean, especially a game like Kirby where that's not even really... That's only a portion of the appeal of the game itself, is it being a more stress-free type of experience. I just get annoyed personally whenever people say Kirby's not good because it's too easy. It's just... kind of ignoring all the nuances.
Kirby can be it can be hard. I just think you need to
I guess
sort of like dig for that. But
anyway, I didn't mean to completely like cut you off. I just thought it was funny that from my perspective, I've never seen like I don't want to say I've never seen one, but a majority of the reception of Forgotten Land was like pretty positive. But I could be wrong though. If in the comments you guys hate in the Forgotten Land, let me know.
Right there, yeah.
All right, but yeah, go on.
Forgotten Land plus Star Crossworld. It seems to add. I don't think it's for every stage, but for select stages, there adds the star variants, I believe, and it sort of remixes these stages and enters into previously inaccessible areas. It just feels like more Kirby content. And it does look like it makes enemies a little bit more difficult, so that's always nice. It just looks like more Kirby in the Forgotten Land, which is nothing to complain about. And I'm just pretty stoked for that, and I think Kirby fans should be very stoked for that as well. The problem is what I found really interesting is that this is not on Nintendo Switch 1. Obviously I know it's for like marketing reasons, but like, is there any reason other than they just want it to be on Switch 2? Is there any reason it can't be on Switch 1?
Switch 2. I feel like it's as simple as we're trying to give more of an incentive for people to get the Switch 2. Plus, it's gonna run the game at 60 frames per second. Yeah. So that's probably not something the Switch 1 would have been able to do, even if they like went in and optimized the game or something. That's probably why. Obviously, I'm not in love with them doing that, but it doesn't really surprise me either.
The game looks beautiful, especially on Switch 2. It looks great.
Yeah, the game already looked great. I remember, obviously, the frames per second with the Switch 1 version never ruined the game, but it was always something where I was like, man, if you could run this at 60 frames, this would be just so seamless of a game. So I think it's gonna be really cool. Even without all of the new features that they're adding, I'm sorry I'm being that guy, because I know this is so shallow, but I'm excited for the frame rate boost.
It looks great, but the other thing is
that meme that you were talking about before, where it's like Nintendo
Holy
fan
crap,
discovers
60 frames per second. I've never seen that. But I was just thinking, because it's they positioned this as a Switch 2 exclusive. They're thinking, it's gonna be a great system seller, but in my head, as great as the Forgotten Land is this really gonna make someone go over the edge? Like, oh wow, I'm gonna buy the Switch 2 because of Kirby Star Crossed World. If that is the pushing factor, that's great. But in my head, it's like this could have definitely been a Switch 1 DLC as well, because some of my friends are like, I don't know if I'll get a Switch 2 yet. It's a little too expensive, and man, it'd be nice to play that Kirby game, but just because it's not on Switch 1, they're just gonna miss out on the content. And well, I guess that's kind of the point. It's like, you want the content, buy a Switch 2, but it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. Star Crossed World, without hindsight, it looks cool, looks great, and fun to play. More Forgotten Land stuff is always great. I think, the direction of the 3D Kirby formula now, you could say, it looks like it's heading in the right direction. Can't wait to see what happens next. Kirby and the Forgotten Land might be my second favorite Kirby game of all time. I think Planet Robot still edges out a little bit.
Honestly, those being 1 and 2 is pretty valid in my opinion. I obviously still have a soft spot for Kirby's Epic Yarn. So yeah, I have not yet seen the video, so I'm gonna take your word for it that the game looks really good, and I'm definitely gonna be getting it whenever it comes out, and we'll talk about it. I guess that'll be the following podcast, or it'll be one of the following podcasts that we actually talk about the game itself.
I can't wait to see any lore revelations, like Kirby is actually Jesus Christ or something like that.
What the fuck?
Kirby lore goes insane.
Okay, so there's a few small things, like we already planned out like what topics we were gonna hit, but there were 2 other small things I wanted to touch on. really quick. Number one, this involves everyone's favorite organization, PETA. So PETA, for anyone unfamiliar, if you haven't had the pleasure of coming across these controversies before, they're a very staunch animal rights activist organization, and they definitely are a little bit fierce with how they go about their marketing campaigns with what do you call it? Like speaking out for animal rights and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, with Mario Kart World, everyone knows by now that the cow has a nose ring, right? Right, Donovan? Do you know where I'm going with this?
I do know.
And so PETA is very upset that the cow from Mario Kart World has a nose ring. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on this because these are the real problems that we have to talk about on this podcast.
If you wanted the cool answer, it'd be nice if Nintendo changed it, ? If they don't, unfortunately, maybe it's just me, but I don't really care.
Well, I'm looking for a new host now, everyone. So if you guys want to submit your resumes, feel free to let me know. I cannot have an animal cruelty person on the show with me.
Oh, you got me. Fuck.
Okay, obviously, jokes aside, as someone that I would say I'm an animal lover myself. I think that this is, as with most PETA controversies, very overblown. We've seen it before with Super Mario Bros. 3 and the Tanuki suit. I know there was another big one that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. PETA is no stranger to overreacting to everything. One of my favorite PETA, I don't know if you've seen this on Twitter before. My personal favorite PETA post ever was whenever they shared a chart with common phrases that people use, kill two birds with one stone, those kind of phrases, and then they listed out alternatives that you can use. So I remember
what's the alternative
instead of for kill two birds with one stone, it was feed two birds with one scone.
Okay, man. Are we making up words here?
Okay, if I'm gonna try to find the tweet in editing and I'll put it on the screen. It's honestly one of my favorite things ever. So I just wanted to touch on this because PETA just cracks me up. It's honestly it should be a comedy
that keeps
thing.
On giving.
It really is. But speaking of Mario Kart World, I don't know why my brain shut off mid-sentence. That was weird. Speaking of Mario Kart World and Kirby, I wanted to touch on this. So Nintendo did a very strange thing with Kirby Air Riders, and they put the soundtrack for the game early on Nintendo Music. So this is something that we've already touched on the show, but I just wanted to quickly rant about it again because Nintendo is fucking being annoying. Where is Mario Kart World, Nintendo?
I already put my tinfoil hat on. Clearly this is not...
Donovan, I don't care about your conspiracy theories about they have DLC coming and they're waiting for the DLC. No, they can just put the game soundtrack and then add the music for the DLC, okay?
Okay, but there's no
excuse for this.
They don't... Their servers are running on Windows 95.
You're right.
That might be partially
Donovan,
true.
Thank you for reminding me that I just have too high of standards for Nintendo, and I need to remember that the billion-dollar company,
they're being run by those monkeys from Lex Luthor.
Super shit. I just wanted to quickly get my 2 cents on that. I just so you guys know, until we get Mario Kart World on Nintendo Music,
we will not.
You're constantly going to hear me bitching about that. So back to Mario Kart World. We just got a brand new patch update for the game. And if you thought it was something actually good, unfortunately, I have bad news for you. It was simply just a very small patch tweak or something about time trials with the race against Ghost or whatever bullshit. I don't know. I've kind of ranted about this before. I just wanted to bring it up and say that both with the Nintendo Music thing, but also with all of the features that Mario Kart World probably could use, to be specific, not forcing intermissions online. Nintendo is still dropping updates that aren't doing that. So I just wanted to celebrate because I'm happy. Donovan, aren't you happy? I'm having a great day today. I'm so happy.
I love listening to my fans. It's always great. This patch is, just a symbol of how amazing listening can be. It's great.
It's a symbol for the importance of community and respecting your community and what they want out of your game. And most importantly, not being stubborn. I think that's the main lesson and moral
I think they
from this
learned
podcast
a valuable
episode.
lesson. Mm-hmm. They learned.
Donovan, that's my favorite thing about being a Nintendo fan is it's like the $1 billion company cares about us, as fans.
Yeah, again,
so
bros. You gotta chill out.
This is so stupid. All right, Donovan, do you want to talk about Lego Batman?
Lego Batman!
Wow.
So,
that's gonna be fun to lower the gain on that later on.
So, I came home from school and I just received the greatest news of all time. There were rumors beforehand that TT Games were developing a new Lego game. I was worried that it might have been bad because TT Games have been going through a little bit of, difficult times. And their most recent game, Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, I didn't buy it because I was a little disappointed from what I've been hearing and what I've seen and played. I played it at a friend's house. It's a quality Lego game. It just loses that spark that the original complete saga had. It felt better and worse at the same time, and ultimately I just didn't get it. But this game looks like it's taking what Rocksteady should have done with Batman. It looks awesome. Something that differentiates this from the complete saga is that the complete saga is kind of a remake of what they did previously, and they kind of did it better and worse at the same time. This Lego Batman, I thought it was going to be Lego Batman 4. This feels like I thought it was going to continue the quote-unquote Lego Batman chronology. I mean, that could have been cool, but what this game is doing is it seems to be taking multiple Batman movie stories, and I maybe the games, but primarily the movies, and mashing them all kind of into one to tell this story of Batman's journey. It's something that the previous Lego Batman games kind of dabbled at but didn't truly explore. This game looks like it's actually doing something quote unquote brand new, unlike the complete saga, which was kind of a remake. So I'm pretty excited to see the direction of this Lego Batman game. And as soon as I saw the Dark Knight trilogy references, I'm a big Dark Knight trilogy fan. It just made me feel so much excitement. And there's also the Batman stuff that looks really awesome. I cannot wait to see Ben Affleck's Batman completely murder people and brand criminals and say Martha. I can't wait for
my
that.
Batman. That's how Batman should
that's
be.
my Batman. They actually never showed any of the DC EU Batman stuff, so that's up in the air. But the Dark Knight trilogy Batman stuff, that looks awesome. It looks so. I feel like a kid again. It looks fun. Hoping to see more. Hoping TT Games can pick up the slack and deliver a quality Lego game with not so in your face humor. I was expecting at one point when they put up Heath Ledger's Joker when he said "Why so serious?" I was expecting like a dumb stupid joke, or when Batman says "and I'm Batman," I was expecting like a stupid joke, but they actually let the scene play out. It's like, oh, thank God. There's one part where it's like, the Batman meme, and you're like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Then Joker's like, well, I'm allergic to nuts. That one kind of got me. Okay, so maybe the humor is there. Maybe it's back. Maybe it's good this time, or maybe I just have really bad humor. It looks great. I have big hopes for this Lego Batman, the original one and number 2, big parts of my childhood. I remember not knowing what new game meant, so every time I booted up the game, I would click new game, which meant playing from the beginning all over again. So
are you fucking serious?
Yes, I'm being serious. So I have the original Lego Batman like opening cutscene like memorized to a T. Like even the specific noises, like Clayface makes the noise, you know.
This is basically just me with Donkey Kong Bonanza, where I would just restart every single level.
But yeah, high hopes for this Lego Batman game. Really excited. Hoping they land the ball, and make a good game, and hopefully it doesn't end up like the Skywalker Saga, where it's like, you know, it's better in some areas and worse in some other areas.
All right. Well, as someone that has never played a Lego Batman game, I'm sorry. I just haven't. I'm sorry. I've played other Lego games. I just haven't played Lego Batman.
I just had a funny thought. So how are they gonna tackle the idea that Batman doesn't kill when Lego Batman very visibly murders everyone?
Well, I have a simple answer for you, Donovan. It's because, as everyone knows, Batman is supposed to kill. Batman's whole character trait, as we learned with Ben Affleck and Batman v Superman, Batman, he kills. He kills by proxy, even, in the words of Zack Snyder. So hopefully we'll see him, you know, like destroy a car, but it doesn't really count as murder because he didn't directly cause it to happen, even though he kind of indirectly did cause it to happen. You know what I mean? I love Zack Snyder. He's my favorite movie director. Anyway, so let's move on to our
No sarcasm.
No sarcasm. That was all 100% serious. So Donovan, I believe you had a few trivia questions that you wanted to ask me in regards to Kirby.
Welcome to the trivia segment, specifically on Kirby, because we had a lot of Kirby stuff. As I was saying before, Kirby has extensive lore, so I want to see how flabbergasted you will be, or absolutely confused.
Probably confused. But
all right, so let's start off easy. All right, I'm looking at my list of questions here. Let's pick an easy one. What is the name of Kirby's home planet? Number 1, Dreamland, or A, Dreamland. B, Popstar. C, Star Haven, or D, Nova World.
Correct answer is Planet Popstar.
Okay. Looks like you know it. All right.
I at least have one correct answer. Also, before anyone accuses me of Googling and then cutting it out, I swear I'm not cheating. I'm taking this completely legit.
All right. Let's go to something a little bit more cuckoo. What secret role does the character Gooey play in the Kirby universe? A fragment of dark matter. B, a guardian of Popstar. C, the creator of the Warp Star. Or D, a lost cousin of Kirby.
I'm gonna be so honest with you, Donovan. I forgot who the fuck Gooey even is. Is Gooey from a specific game or?
Yeah, multiple.
Which game?
I think it's Kirby's Dream Land 2 and 3.
Okay. So I've played Kirby's Dream Land 2 once, and it was a long time ago. I think Gooey was one of the companions from that game, I think. So I'm gonna go with A. I already forgot what the choices were, but I'm just gonna select A because I'm feeling
lucky
A.
guess. He is a fragment of dark matter. Now, dark matter has quite the history with Kirby. Literally the embodiment of evil. And it just so happens Gooey is actually a pretty kind guy. He's, you know, I don't know if anything goes on in that
so
head,
are you telling me that the character that helps Kirby out is the embodiment of evil?
He's a fragment of the embodiment of evil.
Wow, this is dark.
Next one. What is the true nature of the final boss, Void Termina, in Kirby Star Allies? A corrupted star rod. B, an ancient godlike being. C, a fusion of DDD and Meta Knight. D, a mechanical AI gone rogue.
I'm gonna be honest. I've played Kirby Star Allies whenever it came out, and I forgot just about everything from that game. So this one I'm kind of a lost puppy on. I'm gonna guess what sounds like it would be the case in a Kirby game. I think C is probably the least likely to be true. I don't think it would be a fusion between two Kirby enemies. I'm gonna go with the one that said he's an AI that went rogue.
Incorrect. That is from Kirby Planet Robobot. Star Dream.
Oh wait, I'm stupid. Of course that's from Kirby Planet Robobot. Oh my.
This one, he's an ancient godlike being. I think he has connections with dark matter, and I believe he also has connections. I'm a little bit skeptical of this, but it is implied he has connections with the creation of Kirby himself.
What the what? Are we getting into like Kirby religion right now? What is this?
There probably is a Kirby religion.
What do you mean he has connections with the creation of Kirby himself? What does that even mean?
Anyways, let's go on a little more lighthearted question. What was the original name for Kirby during development? A. Twinkle Popopo. B. Balloon Buddy. C. Puff Hero. D. Star Hopper.
I'm gonna go Puff Hero.
Puff Hero. Interesting. It's interesting that you're wrong. It's Twinkle Popopo.
Well, that
Sakurai. Sorry. Twinkle Popopo was initially Sakurai's idea for his little Kirby buddy, his little blob. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kirby fans, but I think it was Miyamoto that suggested the name Kirby. The Nintendo lawyer that famously got them out of a court case between them and Universal.
I do believe I've heard
it's
that.
something Kirby.
Yeah,
his last name
Kirby,
John Kirby. Yes.
I should get a point for remembering
You should get
that.
you'll get an extra point. Which Kirby game introduced the concept of parallel versions of the characters? This should be kind of easy. A. Kirby's Dream Land 3. B. Kirby Planet Robobot. C. Kirby Star Allies. Or D. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror.
Well, given that you just said parallel versions and the concept of a mirror, I'm gonna go Kirby and the Amazing Mirror.
Wow, congratulations. Yes. There was, I believe, Shadow Kirby and Shadow Meta Knight. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, I kind of want to try that out in multiplayer. It is on Switch Online.
I've never
Seems
played
really
that
fun.
game, but the title just kind of, gave me some context clues to work off of. So.
All right, big one. Final one. What is the hidden meaning behind the character Zero in Kirby lore? A. A reference to interdimensional voids. B. A symbol of eternal rebirth. C. Represents pure evil and despair. D. A nod to the first prototype of Kirby.
Donovan, I thought you said we were getting lighthearted with these questions. Like, I don't what? He's a reference to total evil and despair. I don't know.
Ding 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 ding. Yes, Zero does have a relationship to what we talked about earlier.
I thought this was a kid's game, Donovan.
Oh, and Zero, when you kill him, his eye gauges out of his head and blood splatters. This is very true. He is an enemy from Kirby Dream Land 3, I believe, and he's like the spawn of dark matter, and he appears again in Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards, where I believe he also bleeds from his eye. What we learned today is that Kirby is actually made for grown adults, and anyone that says Kirby is easy and for children should probably be locked in a really dark basement with dark matter.
See, this is the type of shit. This type of shit is why I like Kirby's Epic Yarn, because everything that you just told me makes me want to curl up into a ball in the corner of my room and cry.
I just made a final question. All right, this one's gonna be really hard.
I thought
it's gonna be really hard. All right, this is gonna be a little more lighthearted. Which is the better game? Kirby's Epic Yarn or Kirby's Return to Dreamland?
This is the answer is Kirby's Epic Yarn, but you're not going to accept that as the right answer. So.
I don't see what the fuck is his name? The blue guy? What? The blue guy from Kirby's Epic Yarn?
Yin Yarn is the villain. Fuck, wait, what is his name? Wait, I love the game and I forgot his name.
Oh my god. Well, I don't see him in Kirby Air Riders.
Donovan, I haven't played the game in a long time. I forgot. Kirby's Epic Yarn. blue guy name. Oh, Prince Fluff. Prince Fluff, that's right.
Yeah, you don't see him in Kirby Air Riders.
Well, he should be. He's going to be DLC. That's why because they know that the fans are going to be raving for him, so they're probably yeah.
Okay, that concludes trivia. Kirby lore is awesome.
That might be my least favorite segment that we've ever recorded for the podcast. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get into some questions. So hopefully these are, what do you call it? I guess like family friendly than the Kirby segment
Than the representation of pure evil and despair.
Yeah, that was really grotesque. Plus, like the way you like the cadence at which you spoke whenever you said this, you were like, and then Kirby rips his eyeballs out and blood splatters. Like I was like Donovan. Like I get the point. Like you don't have to. All right. So our first question is from a regular viewer on the show, Sid Olin, who asks, if you were in a fight with these, which one do you think you could defeat? We have Waddle Dee, as we just do not escape from Kirby. This entire episode is just revolving around Kirby, apparently. So Waddle Dee, Pikachu, and the Dart Monkey from Bloons Tower Defense. This is a really interesting question. So, like, both Dart Monkey and Waddle Dee have some kind of, like, sharp, blunt object that they can kind of pierce you with. With Dart Monkey, it's obviously the darts that it normally throws at the balloons. But
Are we talking about like a normal Waddle Dee or bandana Waddle Dee?
I guess normal, since it doesn't specify. Well, another question is, like, with Dart Monkey, is it upgraded? Because, in Bloons Tower Defense, there's, like, different pathways that you can upgrade the towers. So is this, like, Dart Monkey with, like, the gigantic spike catapult things? Is it Dart Monkey where it, like, has 3 darts that it's throwing at you, or is it just like the basic dart? Either way, I think Pikachu would destroy me, so I feel like that.
Yeah, have you I've seen some clips of the Pokemon anime. I think he would absolutely torch me.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's which one do we think we could beat, though, not which one we wouldn't beat. I guess
it's Waddle Dee.
Yeah, but Waddle Dee's spear is longer. I feel like Dart Monkey, maybe you could like dodge the darts as it's throwing them.
If it's just normal Waddle Dee, definitely that, because like, what is he gonna do?
I don't know. Maybe stab you.
No. He doesn't have a spear.
Oh,
just like
I thought Waddle Dee had a spear.
No, that's bandana Waddle Dee. So like, if it's a normal Waddle Dee, like, I'm gonna kick him.
Okay. Let's assume it's not the normal Waddle Dee. Okay, let's bandana. Make this question actually fun.
Then Dart Monkey.
Yeah, I think Dart Monkey's the answer. So yeah, that's a very
because I don't remember Dart Monkey fighting the embodiment of evil.
Then why do you have to keep reference? I thought we were done with that. All right, so next question is from The Shining Gamer. We have, with Bonanza having such a common score amongst reviewers, which I believe you said it was 91 on Metacritic, right? Did it seem that people may have low expectations for Donkey Kong and was surprised with how it performed and then rated it high? Or was the game just that good? So I guess this is kind of asking, was recency bias and like, I don't know what the term is, but like seeing everyone else love the game, so therefore it raises your own perception of it. Like, did that happen, or was the game genuinely just like warranting those higher reviews? I feel like it did kind of have a lot to do with people at first, whenever the game initially was unveiled for the Switch 2, and a lot of people were kind of disappointed because it wasn't a Mario game, and they probably had lower expectations than they should have had. So then that way, whenever Donkey Kong Bonanza ended up being incredible, it like even more so inflated how they felt about the game. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel.
I think people definitely, I'd say, were a little bit disappointed when it wasn't revealed to be a 3D Mario game. So I think maybe expectations were a little bit lower. But when the game actually came out, I think the score, if that's what the question's asking, I think the game warrants that pretty high of a score. I did beat it a week ago, so maybe recency bias is still a thing. But as for now, the game is really quality in like every single area. The only flack I'd give the game is maybe they could have gone a little bit harder on the story, but that's kind of a nitpick, and I think the game does warrant...
Okay, I've brought up other critiques about the game. The story is what we're critiquing. It's a 3D... It's a Nintendo 3D platformer. What were you expecting? The Last of Us?
No. I'm not expecting The Last... do we want to go into this?
Okay, well, let's briefly go into it.
Okay, I think the concept of Pauline, I think, where she's scared of performing in front of people, I think they could have gone a little bit harder on that, because when she first breaks free of the Odd Rock form, she's like, oh, I'm scared, but then she just instantly does it, and it's like flawless. But I feel like they could have went a little bit harder into motivating her. Maybe there could have been like an extra like maybe an extra mini game or something to help motivate her to perform, because when she's initially scared, and then you do the drum beat, and then she just performs like like the best. I feel they could have gone a little bit harder on that.
Okay, look, I agree. I think the whole Pauline stage fright thing was a really interesting aspect of the plot that I agree that it would have been cool if they expanded upon it, but that is definitely not on my list.
It's a nitpick. It's like
there's other things that I don't like about the game. I don't think the story is necessary.
Every story has that one thing that could have been done a little bit better, but even without it, it's still good.
What if? Okay. Let's really put this in perspective here. I think Mario Odyssey is a fantastic game, Donovan, but it's just like the story just isn't good. So I just don't like the game. It sucks. The game sucks.
Oh, well, I didn't say I didn't like the game.
I know. I just wanted to gaslight you.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, going into the final question, this is from my friend Thomas, and he asks, "What game do you hate that everyone else loves?" And I immediately have my answer to this question. Like the second I read it, I knew what I was gonna say. My answer is Mario Kart 64. Okay, maybe not because I don't know if everyone else loves it. I feel like nowadays in 2025, there's a lot of people that don't like that game, but I still feel like there's a lot of defenders of it. So I feel like it's a valid answer. I just personally, whenever it comes to playing Mario Kart 64, I find it miserable. Like I'm gonna be very verbose with this. I hate the game. I obviously I respect the role it played with the kart racer genre. The battle mode's, awesome or whatever, as everyone says. But I just think controlling it is miserable. I don't like the tracks. A lot of them are way too long. I also don't like the music that much. I just don't like that game. So there's my answer.
I'm not sure if everyone loves this. This game definitely has its fans, but I hate Mario Party 4. I hate that game with all my heart. I would never want to play it again. I wanted to die when I played that game. I was stuck in a loop for like 2 hours. I couldn't go anywhere else on the board. I was stuck at 0 stars, and I wanted to die.
Donovan, did someone lose a game of Mario Party 4?
Someone recently lost a bad game. Oh, this was like a year ago, and I hate it. I've been scarred so bad. I think terrible. Someone got a little really bad It's a really bad video game. Bullshit. Fuck that game. Unknown Pixel, if you're listening, I am never playing that game ever again. Never, ever, ever in my life. I'll play Mario Party 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9. I don't know about 10. I'll boot up Super Mario Party. I'm never playing Mario Party 4.
Did this guy just say he would play Mario Party 9 before he would play Mario Party 4?
Yes.
That is one of the opinions of all time, for sure. All right,
so have fun lowering the volume on that.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you keeping that in check for me. So thank you, everyone, for watching. This was episode 9. We're about to enter into double digits of the show. I don't even know what to say about that. That's crazy.
Thank you for watching and listening. listening.
And yes, so I also forgot to mention this, but whenever it comes to questions, if you have any questions that you want us to answer, gaming related, just something random, whatever you want, as long as it's within reason, we have a Discord server where you can join, and we have a specific text channel for questions. So you are more than welcome to join and ask whatever's on your mind there. Or if you want, you can also just ask here on the comment section of the video as well. So Donovan, do you want to tell the people where to find you on the internet?
You can find me to DonovanDud just on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram, and you can primarily interact with me via my Discord server, the Nintendo Boys, and Twitter. What about you?
Very similar story here. YouTube, MrDean44. You can find me over on Twitter and Blue Sky. And then also I have a Discord server called the Dean Kingdom. It's been a little bit inactive recently. I need to get back on managing that server. I've been kind of slacking a little bit in recent weeks. But yes, that's where you can find me if you're interested at all. So once again, as we said, thank you so much to everyone that's been watching these episodes. So far, it seems that people are enjoying them. So I really appreciate everyone giving us your time. And if there's anything that you want to see us talk about, or any improvements that you think we could see with the production, we're open ears. So yeah, dang, we suck at these outros.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Love you.